Hey everybody, what's up? It's Dan here. I'm going to show you guys how to make my favorite red velvet cupcakes today. So in my bowl I have cake flour, sugar, cocoa powder, salt, baking soda, and baking powder. And in my measuring cup here I have eggs, buttermilk, a little bit of sour cream, oil, and then in this little measuring cup right here I have red food dye, a little bit of vinegar, and a little bit of vanilla extract. So my dry ingredients are all sifted and whisked into my bowl. Going to add the oil, the buttermilk, the sour cream, and the eggs. And all of these ingredients here are at room temperature, so they've been sitting out for about a half an hour. Whenever you're mixing a cake, you really do want room temperature ingredients. If everything is the same temperature, it's easier for the batter to come together. And you really want a homogeneous batter whenever you're mixing a cake. It's going to give you the best texture, the best rise, all that good stuff that we all want. So I've gone ahead and preheated my oven to be 350 degrees if you're using a conventional home oven, or 325 degrees fan low if you're using a convection oven. And I've lined my cupcake liners with some paper liners. So I'll start my mixer on low just to get all the ingredients moistened. Okay. And then I'll just give the beater and the bowl a scrape just to get rid of any clumps of flour, sugar that's stuck to the beater. So once my bowl is scraped, I'm just going to turn the mixer to high, speed 4 on my KitchenAid here, and let it mix for about 2 minutes. Alright, so 2 minutes has passed. My batter's nice and smooth. I can see all the bubbles on the surface of the batter, so it's nice and aerated. And I'm just going to get to scooping this batter into my prepared cupcake trays. Sometimes mini cupcakes can be a little finicky. If you've ever made mini cupcakes and they've kind of spilled over the wrapper when you were baking them, you may have overfilled the liners, but a really great tip when that happens is to don't give up on your recipe. Fill your mini cupcake liners and then let them rest before you put them in the oven for about 10 or 15 minutes. That'll give the batter some time for the leavening to kind of calm down a little bit, so they won't rise as much in the oven. They'll still rise, but they won't rise all the way up over the top of your liner. For these minis, don't fill them any more than halfway full because you definitely don't want them to spill over. Alright, so once I have my cupcake liners filled, I'm just going to give the pan a few taps. And this helps with these mini liners here to settle the cupcakes all the way into the cavities of the tray. Since they're so light, sometimes they don't really pop down into the tray. So I'm going to pop these in the oven, and they shouldn't really take more than 15-ish minutes to bake, but keep an eye on them. You do want a toothpick to come out clean, or with just a couple moist crumbs on them. So I'm going to pop them in the oven, and I'll see you guys back here when they're done. Alright guys, so these look perfect. They baked for about 16 minutes, I would say. They're springy, they're hot, and a toothpick came out clean when I inserted it in the center. So I'm going to let these cool, take them out of their pans, and while they're cooling, I'm going to whip up a batch of my cream cheese icing. And you can get the recipe for my favorite cream cheese icing on my blog, bakingwithdan.com. So now I'm going to take these cool red velvet cupcakes and my icing and show you guys how I finish them off. So I have my cooled cupcakes, I have some white sprinkles, some red velvet cake crumbs, which I made just by crushing up with a gloved hand some of these mini cupcakes here. And then I have my cream cheese icing in a pastry bag, just fitted with a plastic coupler at the bottom, no special tip needed. So I'm going to just take my pastry bag, put a little swirl of cream cheese icing on top of my cupcake, just like this. Then I'll take the cupcake and roll just the sides of it in the white sprinkles here. So I could stop right here, but I like to then dunk the top in some red velvet crumbs, and then just shape the sides in with my hand, and that's how I like to make a red velvet cupcake. So if you guys want to try the recipe for these red velvet cupcakes, as well as any of my other recipes, head on over to my blog, bakingwithdan.com. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like it, comment. If you have any questions, you can comment on the YouTube video or on the blog, and I will put the link for the recipe for this cream cheese icing, for these red velvet cupcakes, everything you guys are going to need in the video description below. So until next time, guys, happy baking and stay sweet.